comes to decisions about a person's health and medical treatment, the race of one's doctor isn't a factor that many people of color are willing to overlook. People of color are more likely to seek out doctors or medical professionals of the same race or ethnicity in order to eliminate the possibility that they will be victims of bias. But diversity in medicine goes far beyond the doctor-patient relationship. Diversity is key for research and for reporting. Cardiologist Dr. Raymond Givens became a leading voice for change in the medical community for his research about the lack of diversity at some of the most prominent medical journals in the industry. He joins me now from Atlanta. Welcome, doctor. Now, let's start from the beginning. It's March 2020. You read this article published by a fellow cardiologist essentially bashing affirmative action with respect to Black and Hispanic trainees. It makes you scratch your head, and you decide to take matters in your own hands. Tell us about how this led to your research and what your findings uncovered.
Yeah, so, thank you again for having me. So that the critical thing about that article is it made me think who at this journal who was making the decision to publish this stuff, which is, just a very unscientific and one-sided take on this. And so that led me to look into, who was on the editorial boards. It wasn't just that Journal of the American Heart Association, but what I actually did was look across really most of the major journals in cardiology and some in general medicine, and to find what I found is that the editorial boards, the decision makers, the gatekeepers, are overwhelmingly white. And to go beyond the numbers, if you actually kind of map out the networks of who works with whom. There's these vast networks that are dominated by white people. They're intensely white.
Mm-hmm. Of course they are. I mean, I think about all things in history come down to who actually gets to write the story at the end of the day, who is telling the tale. And there's just always been a systematic kind of at the top and in those editorial boards, whitewashing, if you will. I wonder what surprised you more, though, the findings or the medical community's silence on what you actually flagged?
Yeah, I guess I would say that the findings themselves are probably not that surprising. However, this was 2020. This was supposed to be the year of our, great racial awakening in medicine after having witnessed, the first wave or couple waves of COVID-19 and all of the disparities inherent in that. After, supposedly everybody in medicine saying they were ready to take a knee for George Floyd, to really be facing just vicious obstruction and resistance to really, being accountable and dealing with this issue. I think that was pretty disheartening.
Dr. Givens, actually tell us a little bit more about what was happening in the medical community around the murder of George Floyd and the calls for racial justice. I'm curious, we see corporations all giving lip service, so we know that they put out, posters essentially saying we support Black people. And we've heard the politicians' lip service. What was happening in the medical community? What were people saying, thinking, doing, and how did that time influence the pivot in your work here?
Yeah, so similar things happen in medicine, although I would say it's even more jarring. For people who do this every day, who study it, who interact with patients of every stripe, to suddenly be seemingly for the first time aware that there are these disparities in society that some people really are not doing well, and not just by a random chance, but because of structural violence and racism that's the result of centuries of a sustained campaign of racism. That was number one, jarring, but number two, to realize that when you really get past the all of the platitudes and the people saying that Black Lives Matter and trying to get them to show that our lives actually do matter, and to be frank, that our lives matter as much as their feelings, that's when you get the backlash. That's the thing that I think I've seen over and over again, which is in medicine, Black lives don't matter as much as white feelings. And if you
Ooh.
really are out there trying to push, the backlash is swift and pretty fierce.
What is it with white people and
What
all
I'll tell
these
you,
feelings? And my goodness.
yeah, it
Go
is
ahead. Yeah.
seemingly it's very tough to penetrate. One of the things that's come out of again this racial reckoning is there've been some black and brown faces that have been promoted into new positions. And while I you know admire many of those people, what I would say is by and large, if you look at who's being um, promoted and selected, it's not voices like mine. It's not the voices that are saying you're not moving fast enough. It's folks who are gentler and more gradual and but are really upholding the system. And it's for me, it
Black
reminds me
lives
of
that are palatable to white feelings, essentially, are the ones that are being promoted. That feels like what's going on everywhere. And it's interesting
yeah.
because, especially in medicine, when we're talking about feelings, I'm curious if the industry has at all acknowledged, addressed, reckoned with the fact that black bodies have been brutalized for the sake of medical research. And there's so much distrust that's sowed there within the industry with patient-doctor relationships because of the way that white doctors essentially have really used black communities to prey upon them to be able to advance their own studies. It's all just fascinating to me. I wonder how you think that your findings about the medical journals translate to why people seek doctors who look like them. What's that correlation?
So what I think is first and foremost, when you're a black patient and you come and you see a black doctor, I think one of the things that happens is you relax. I think many people just relax and they know that they don't have to explain themselves. They don't have to justify their humanity. They don't have to dress up in a certain way and impress you that they to make they don't have to make you see into them as someone that they can relate to and be friends with. Um, so I think that's the first thing. I think secondly, there's the thought or the hope that you'll give them that second look, that you'll spend the time with them and do all the things that they haven't gotten, the care that they haven't gotten before. And what I can tell you is I see that over and over and over again, where folks have just been abandoned, and it's disheartening. It's heartbreaking to see it over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the bedside manner aspect of this that you're speaking of. And research also backs up the idea that people want doctors that look like them for various reasons, including the fact that actually researchers at the University of Pennsylvania suggest that black patients may have less pain and anxiety when treated by a black physician. And, it's interesting to me, that idea of having less pain or more pain or what have you. It seems to me that even when presenting pain to white doctors, it is received differently when it is coming from a black patient. And I wonder if you could speak to, and I want to, get back into this whole idea of who's at the journals. What is happening there, even with the diagnoses and with black patients showing up in an office where there's a white doctor and not necessarily getting the same treatment, not even just bedside manner, but treatment based upon the condition that they arrive with?
Yeah, speaking of journals and what the medical education does and its deficits. I mean, there are studies that show that a lot of medical students still hold this bizarre idea that black people have thicker skin and are less sensitive to pain. You just imagine how that plays out across the medical field. So it's not just that black patients have that perception. They're right. It seems that they may not be taken as seriously by some doctors. Um, you know, pain is one thing. I mean, just looking across the scope of everything that we deal with, I've looked at CDC data. If you really want to get into the meat of like why this matters, um, if you look at age-adjusted excess Black deaths, Black people compared to the entire rest of the U.S. population, um, there are 150 excess deaths of Black people per day over the last
Wow.
decade or so. In 2020, that doubled. 300 excess Black deaths per day. And by last year, it went down to maybe 230, 240 excess deaths. That is the toll that we're talking about on every single day. When people say that we're just gonna, we'll get there eventually, um, you know, let's be cheerleaders for diversity and let's get there eventually. You're talking about being comfortable with all of these people just dying for virtue of just being Black,
Mm,
and you'll get there
mm.
eventually. And I find that is just maddening.
It's
It
outrageous.
infuriates me.
It's outrageous. It's outrageous. Last minute that we have, I want to come back full circle. Give us your manifesto on how these journals and these all-white editorial boards that are the gatekeepers of the information that is put out in these academic journals that students are consuming, that the industry is looking as the gold standard, how they ultimately are feeding into the challenges with diversity, with treatment and care of people of color.
Yeah, so number one, again, the gatekeepers, the composition of the gatekeepers are inappropriate. They do not reflect, the medical workforce and certainly the population that we're serving. And because of that, there are blind spots, there are deficits in being able to accurately interpret studies, accurately interpret data. You know, to be clear, you know, so many folks just do not understand Black people. It's something about the medical
Mm,
mind breaks down when dealing with race, especially when it comes to Black people. And so much of what is being published in these journals is just really not true to reality. And much of it, in addition, really just it's describing these patterns that we know, have happened over, decades, centuries. We know what the patterns look like. Black people are not doing well. What's it going to take for these journals to pivot to actually start talking about what do we do about it and how do we get there
mm,
quickly so
hmm.
that again it's not 300 Black people dying per day just because they're Black. That's going to take, to be quite honest, I think a lot of people ceding power, stepping aside, and not just promoting a Black face here, a brown face there, but realizing we do not have the range to be doing this. We really need to open it up and let those voices in, even if they're aggressive, assertive,
Yeah.
it's saying you're not moving fast enough, but it matters for the health of society.
Wow. Dr. Raymond Givens, so illuminating. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. Appreciate your perspective.